Greetings. Welcome to SWAN Power, where we explore the power of spirituality, wellness, arts, and nature. I am your host, Chris Singleheart. Hello, husband.
Good morning.
Welcome to SWAN Power.
Yeah.
This is the first time you've been a guest on my podcast.
It is. Yes, it is.
And it's been about a year since I've even done an episode, so I'm a little bit nervous about this.
Okay.
But I'm trying to do what I am encouraging others to do, which is take time to do your art.
Yes.
Right? Intentionally.
Yes.
Not wait for when everything's right and when I have extra time and when all is right in the world.
Which it never is.
Right. All the more reason we need to do this. So I put this on the calendar a few months ago, and something had come up, opportunity in our family, right? And I stuck with it. I didn't cancel out.
Right.
I said, I made these plans, and here we are. Okay. Yeah, so let's talk about where we are.
Okay.
All right. Jamestown, New York.
Jamestown, New York, a very lovely place in the western, southwestern area of New York
Yeah.
State. Yeah.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
What do you think? We just rolled into town yesterday.
It's a very nice area,
Right
very
up in
historical area, it looks like. Yeah.
Point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Driving here, we went through the Allegheny Forest.
Yes.
Which was lovely.
Well, we live in Pennsylvania, and we've never been to that portion of Pennsylvania, the northwestern part of Pennsylvania. Yeah.
I know, like all our lives. And here we are, Penn's Woods. Like, it's a beautiful state.
Yes.
Really is a beautiful state. And it's summertime. It's glorious. It is
Very
my
green.
favorite season. So lush and green. And oh my goodness, there was this one part in the drive, because it was like a 5-hour drive. And it was like beautiful sky. Like, everything was just so green. Sky was so blue, white puffy clouds. But do you remember we were driving through the Allegheny National Forest?
Yep.
It's getting dark where we were, but up ahead it was bright.
Right.
So it was one of those summertime, we see a sun shower is going to be coming.
Well,
it downpoured. It was one of those where it was hitting the windshield really hard. But yet it was bright up ahead. And it was such a moment of like awe. Like awe, like the power of nature, and just what a sensual experience, like your senses, the sights, the sounds, so I just thought that was just like a highlight of the drive. I think,
Well, you weren't driving, so.
Also, we were listening. I had loaded up like 5 hours alternately, like albums, which I had never listened to. It was always like new listening for me. Good to break away from the standards, the go-tos, and alternated that with some specifically curated content of podcasts.
Well, that's the benefit of traveling and doing a retreat, is that you can take a block of time and say, I'm going to do stuff that I normally don't get time to do. And it's like listening to podcasts. It's a 5-hour drive. Listening to albums that we don't normally get to sit and just listen to an album. And it's just stuff that we try to, on a normal basis, fit into our day. But sometimes, how life gets busy, and it's like you have great intentions to do things, or you do try to fit it in, but you don't get to spend the time on it that you want, and you go, I'm to pick this up later, and life just gets in the way. So to take a block of time and just say, this is what I am doing, that's that,
Mm-hmm.
and dedicating your time to do that. I know I've often used our Knoebels trip, which we go on usually once a year. I don't get to go every year, but I have been in the last couple. But you
I have to
guys,
pause you here
huh?
because for the listeners who
Yeah.
don't know Knobles,
Oh,
you
Knoebels.
got to
Well,
give.
well, Knoebels is an amusement park in central Pennsylvania, or well, east central PA, Elysburg, Pennsylvania, and it's basically an old time amusement park. And no fee to get in. We do camping there. They have platform camping, and they also have ground camping and camper camping.
This
And
is not a commercial, by the way. They're not paying us to say
that's
this.
true. But it's a lovely place, and we go there usually a few days a year. And the one day, and they also have a pool. And pool day is usually the day when I dedicate my time to say, I have a couple of songs that I've been trying to finish. And like I have a whole bunch of like beginnings and pieces of songs. And I usually take one or two to Knoebels with me that I say, this is what I'm going to work on during pool time because I don't go to the pool. So I sit at the campground when everybody else is gone. I have the time to myself. I have my acoustic guitar. I have a notepad and I have a pen. And I just sit there and I might have my phone too, because a lot of times what is helpful when writing is like to have like uh, thesaurus with you, and say like, well, I want to say this, but I want to use a different word and to look it up. And it gives you that extra time to be able to do those kinds of things. And so that's why going on a retreat like this, just blocking off that time and just allowing yourself to just immerse yourself into your art, whatever it may be, and not try to fit it around your normal busy schedule is a
You
good
said,
opportunity.
and you said your art.
Yeah.
So, okay, for our listeners
Mm-hmm.
who may say, like, I'm not an artist.
Right.
Okay. Um, what I want to help people do
Mm-hmm.
is to perhaps discover or rediscover the arts if they are not already
Mm-hmm.
immersed in them,
Right.
okay, if they don't have a practice, because the benefits
Mm-hmm.
of, again, immersing ourselves in the arts. This is things that we've always known instinctively
Right.
as human beings, but now science, the neuroscience, the research that's out there is proving
Yes.
that immersion in the arts, regular participation in it,
Mm-hmm.
whether you are doing the creating or performing or whatever it is, engagement in it, or viewing,
Yes.
right? Participate just, so some of those benefits are freaking astounding.
Mm-hmm.
Like it can literally add to your longevity.
Right.
It can add years to your life.
Mm-hmm.
It increases well being. It
Mm-hmm.
increases our sense of connection. It is stress relieving. It was just like on it goes. Okay. So, to bring everybody into this conversation, okay, you're not a musician, you're not a
Sure.
painter. Like, we can all live artfully.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the title of a book I had read many years ago. Sorry, I don't recall the author's name, but I can look that up. But it was like living artfully. It's like how you set up a room,
Mm-hmm.
how you set up a table, how you prepare a meal,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, you title of this podcast is Swan Power,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for any new listeners who's like, oh, I haven't listened to the other ones, okay. Um, S is for spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
okay, which on these retreats that I'm going to be holding
Mm-hmm.
is going to uh, offer a space for that.
Sure.
It's a word that is a tricky word, right? People get a lot of oh, does this mean wind chimey stuff? Does this mean, right? Spiritual, we are spirits in a body,
Yes.
right? So these retreats are going to be a safe space which encourages your form of spirituality,
Yes.
whatever that may be.
Yes.
Okay, so not to confuse it with religiosity.
Right.
Okay,
Which is
so
different.
correct. So all welcome, and also research on um, when we engage in spiritual practices, the benefits of those. Okay, so that's one aspect. Wellness is kind of all encompassing, your physical health, your mental health. Um, and that's just a very broad term, but things that are intentionally good and helpful for our well being, again, setting up the space for that. So on these retreats, we're going to be having healthy foods. We're going to have spaces where we can um, enjoy the physical activity, whatever that may be. I'm about to go out on a run, get out on the lake, do some kayaking, right? Arts, we've covered that so far in our conversation. And by the way, today, got a lot of that lined up. Okay. The Roger Troy Peterson Institute is here in Jamestown, New York. That is like why this was such a destination for me.
Okay.
So there's more to come on that later. We'll report back. But he's the field guy, right? He was an artist who had this affinity for birds and wildflowers, and so we're going to go to this institute, and it's going to be fantastic. So then there's arts, and then there's nature.
Yeah.
And so far, beautiful part of the country here.
Yes.
And I'm about to go to a state park, which is just a little bit from here. As I said, get out on the lake. So we're going to be encompassing all of those areas in these retreats, offering opportunities for people to be able to engage in their own. And the important thing I want to mention, some people take solo retreats. And that's great. Solitude is also really important. But we're here together.
Right.
And for future retreats, they're going to be, small group-ish, right? Where everybody has the opportunity to do any of the offerings, but then we're going to, be gathering around a meal in the evening. Starting off the day with a little bit of intention, setting an intention, perhaps a little meditation, and always room for art making. So anything more you want to say at the start of this mini retreat we're doing? Because this is a short one.
I just want to go back to what you were saying about not being an artist per se. When you say that, I think of people like my parents, for instance. Now, you would never consider them to be artists or immersed in the arts or anything like that.
Your dad had a flair, though. I'm going to say
he did. But my mother liked dancing, which is a form of art. She took dance lessons,
100%.
but she wasn't a dancer, But my dad, again, getting back to my dad, with the whole spirituality and wellness, he did have a flair for drawing. And he did I remember as a kid, we had these beanbag set where, and he made a bunch of them by hand. He cut the wood, he put them together, and he painted Jiminy Cricket on the thing, and so he like I said, we wouldn't say, oh yeah, Dad was an artist, but he could draw. And I remember when I was a teenager, my dad having a crisis. He suffered from anxiety. He had panic attacks. He thought they were heart attacks. Ended up in the hospital a few times. But to overcome that, they basically subscribed to him to do something he liked to do. And he liked drawing. So he started doing paint by numbers. Okay, so instead of doing, people think like paint by numbers is like, well, what is that? And the paint by numbers, it says 1 is brown, 2 is blue, and he would do that, and he was really good at it, and he would immerse himself in that. He would take time whenever he'd feel excited, or and that would calm him down, and it was therapy for him. Again, wouldn't consider him an artist, but that's proof to me that what they talk about as far as arts and wellness, basically back in the 70s, that was subscribed to my dad.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Before we had all the research
Yeah.
that we have today.
Yeah. Love that you brought that in, that the benefits do not correlate with like your skill level. Does that make sense?
Exactly. Yep.
You do not have to stay within the lines
No.
to feel the benefits.
Right.
And for him, it was like the lowering of the cortisol, the stress hormone in his body. And we know that engaging in the arts can just, like lower our blood pressure, lower our heart rate. And, you're going to take me on a tangent. And I don't want to do this now.
Right.
I don't, So thanks for that piece. I didn't quite know the extent of all of that, how it was like prescribed to him, that's why he did it. So
prescribed might be a strong word. It was more suggested.
Well, right now, arts on prescription is a real thing in the United States. It's coming. It's in several states. Right. But we're going to save that for another episode, because trust me, I will touch on that again.
Yes.
But what time of day is it around here?
A little after 8 o'clock. 8 a.m.
Yeah. All right. What say after, there is something else coming today.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be so much fun, because Jamestown, New York is the birthplace of Lucille Ball, who is like one of my heroes. 75 years from Lucille Ball. So, the Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz Museum.
Yes.
We will be going.
Yes. That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a grand time.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, after all this stuff, we're going to do like a fire pit tonight. It's going to be a full day.
Mm-hmm.
SWAN Power.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let's meet back here in this glorious sunroom.
Yes.
At our bed and breakfast. Do you think we should? Well, we'll say that for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. We'll give a little review of that tomorrow. Let's come back same time tomorrow after our mini retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll give some thoughts and feedback.
Okay.
Sound cool?
Sounds good.
Great. I'm sorry I didn't introduce you. This is my husband, Rob.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning again.
Good morning.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Happy summer solstice.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
Summer solstice. Longest day of the year.
Yeah.
Because of the way the Earth tilts on its axis. First day of summer in the astronomical calendar.
Mm-hmm.
But traditionally, midsummer. Did you know that?
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Lots of folklore, tradition kind of stuff. I'm not an expert on it, but a lot of people recognize this as actually midsummer, which kind of makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense. So here we are. It's a little over 24 hours maybe since we sat down here together in this lovely sunroom here. Sun is partially shining today.
Coming in and out, yeah.
Coming in and out.
It's trying to shine.
It shined nicely when I was out on my run this morning, but we'll talk about that later. Okay. So let's just do a little review of our experiences this weekend on this creative retreat.
Yes.
Okay, because you and I have been on many retreats
Yes.
in our marriage. Um, at least one a year, sometimes twice a year, various types. Now, they were specifically, those retreats were, with our, church related or just, a Christian community related. So this is different,
Yes.
okay? But I think you and I can agree that because we made that a regular thing, that was really important to us. And I will say, even specifically, you and I each had our own, for me, was life changing. Like, I think you know what I'm talking about. Like, we came back from, you were on a men's retreat. You had gone a week before I did. And I had done a women's retreat the following week. Following the same sort of like structured format, formula. But I think you and I and most of the people who attended those retreats came back changed, like different. Like it was transformational.
Yeah, they were powerful.
Yep. And I know for me personally, a big change or something I did as a result of that, maybe not, didn't know that it was because of that, but came back and you and I started doing a community music festival in our hometown. We did that 7 years straight. Hundreds of people. Done it with volunteers. And we had music, we had skits, we had like, yeah, we were serving up hot dogs, like, and at that time in our lives, we were thick into parenting.
Yes, we were.
Like the stair-step children. And looking back, I'm like, that was bonkers.
Right. Well, the thing is, too, we only planned to do Spirit Fest, the festival. We only planned to do it 1 year. It was just supposed to be a once and done thing and Sunday afternoon. And the response was so great that the following year, people kept asking me, when is it going to happen again? When's it going to happen again? So then we decided, well, if people like it, we'll do it again. And we did it, like you said, for the next 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah.
It's like a number of perfection.
Yeah, right.
And we just kind of went out on a high note. Like it was 7 great. So the intention of offering retreats to others, and just because like I'm so experienced in attending them, even planning them, we're on planning teams for it, and even I remember when I was active in youth ministry before our kids were little, just I want to take the teenagers on this trip, and planned it soup to nuts. And so it's something that I really value. So, reason for this. Now, this take on it is because, as you know, I have been, I don't know if my listeners know, but I am now a registered art therapist and board certified. So doing so much studying and practicing and how the arts are healing. The arts can be transformational. And so that's why the creative retreat, the SWAN Power Retreat, okay, again, spirituality, wellness, arts, and nature. Tell me how your, I'm going to call this a mini retreat because it was brief.
Right.
But
well, it was brief, and there's always more you'd want to do if you had the time to do it, and we did have to abbreviate a couple of things. yesterday because of time, because we tried to fit as much in as we possibly could. The one thing that I can take away is that when we were at the museum for the wildflowers and the birds, Roger, what was his name? Roger
It is Roger
Peterson.
Tory
Peterson. Yeah.
Peterson. I happen to have a field guide in front of me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So when we were at his museum and looking at the art there and all the things that he created along with some of the other artists was the detail that they included in it. I was particularly impressed with the paper flowers that the one girl made, and but the detail of all that, and like you said, she must have been really good with an X-Acto knife because it was small and intricate, and it was to scale.
Yeah.
And so, but even with the paintings though, as we looked at them, I mean, it's easy to look at a painting and just go, oh, that's nice. But to zoom in and look at the detail, like, oh, they put a caterpillar on the branch, and there's a, there's this and there's that, and all the different elements. So I believe, paying attention to detail, especially when you're creating, I believe, is something, because I think that's something, um, that we can overlook, that somebody put a lot of time and effort into something. And again, like you said, for the arts and wellness, it's not so much that you have to be an artist, but um, I think it's helpful to like even like just to you don't have to be as general. You can be more focused on I want to draw this and or I want to do this or I want to write this or whatever form your art takes you in.
Yeah.
So,
I was reading a lot about what the artists had to say about their observation of nature, because as you
hmm
said, it was like a very slow form.
yes.
These were very like sitting in front of a specimen for that long a time to capture all of that. That's something that is, could be easily lost on us with
Right.
our pace of life. And even, that brings to mind how in this weekend, um, I had a lot of focus on the wellness because, I'm in training.
hmm
I'm in training for my first ultra marathon.
hmm
So, I was up bright and early both mornings. First morning at a Long Point State Park, and this morning at the Audubon Community Nature Center, which was fabulous.
Mm.
Fabulous. It was like one of the best, most enjoyable runs.
hmm
It was glorious. But like you said, if we had more time,
hmm
I would love to go back for a nature walk
hmm
because that's different.
Sure.
I was on a run,
Sure.
right? But I'm whizzing by contemplation stations and
hmm
wooden swings and and bird blinds and all of these places where like I'd love to sit and nature journal or uh, I brought watercolors. This one I didn't dip into them, but it's all good. It's all good.
hmm
It was like more exploratory
hmm
this time around. I think that definite is a spot I would like to return to for a more elongated
hmm
retreat and take um, folks with me, or rather have them wind up here,
Yeah.
not necessarily traveling together, but and engage in forest bathing and contemplative photography and so much. The Roger Tory Peterson institute that we were at yesterday has yoga with the birds every
hmm
morning.
Yeah.
Like, how cool would that be for
And
folks to do
I think
that?
that's the whole point of the retreat and the whole wellness aspect of it
Yeah,
is the fact that you take the time and you slow down.
yeah,
That you're not slowing down. It's like because it's so easy to get caught up in the wave of life or whatever you want to call it. But it's taking that time and saying like I just need to slow down. Whether it's like taking time to focus on your art, or just taking time to rest, or taking time to take a walk and enjoy the nature around you. But it's that slowing down and that focus on detail that you just want to, because it brings a new appreciation, and of the creation around us. And then, like I said, if you are so motivated to put that into writing or painting or into song or poetry or however you want to express yourself, or just soak it in. And
Soak it in.
you know
Speaking of slow, I'm sure you noticed this yesterday. There's a piano here,
mm-hmm.
and I I am rusty. I'm rusty. We don't own a piano any longer. We
Right.
used to. It was horribly out of tune. Um, but I sat down at the piano. There happened to be a book of inspirational songs
Mm-hmm.
there at a level that I could muddle through.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them in the key of C,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, David Crowder would say the happiest of keys. Uh, so you were typing, you were writing, and I was slowly trying to be accurate. The tempo was slower on these songs, but there was really a spiritual moment that I had. And it was a song that I've heard all my life. It might have been written before I was born. A Paul Simon song, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Mm-hmm.
And I was working my way through that song, and I've been hearing this song all my life, and how many people have covered it, because it's just so amazing. But there was something about, like, not hearing anybody sing it,
Mm-hmm.
me actually doing the playing of it,
Mm-hmm.
while seeing the words written on the page.
Mm.
And there were these two lines where it's like pretty emotional. But I think it was like, second verse when he sings, "Sail on, silver girl, sail on by." What comes next? This is where
Your
it really
time
got
has
me.
come to shine.
Your time has come to shine.
All your
All
dreams
your
are
dreams are on
their
their
way. Mm-hmm.
way. See how they shine.
Yep.
So it was that moment where it was deeply personal for me. Because, still have big dreams.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did the Roger Tory Peterson Institute, which was fantastic. But then we had a little fun.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Why don't you talk about what we did next?
Well, we went to the Desi and Lucy Museum here in Jamestown, and then right next door is the I Love Lucy Museum, which is all part of the same experience. And it's just, it was their life, their career, and all about I Love Lucy and how they filmed it, and how that the sets we took our pictures on the set. And
Check it out on Instagram. It's
yeah.
on the gram. Chris Singlehart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that, but
No, I did not. But...
yeah, I even did the black and white filter and all. It's pretty legit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
fun.
That was a great time. And then after, I don't mean to be a downer, but we did do like the tour, drove in our own car, her birthplace, her childhood home, the memorial park, and then we wound up at our final resting place.
Yep. Yep.
And that was, folks had given little memorials. I gave her a little gift from nature. It was really meaningful because, as I said yesterday, she is just one of my heroes, and reading more of their history and learning more about them. I mean, they created together, as husband and wife, this production company because they wanted full control
Yeah, well, they
of their
wanted certain
art,
things
you
that the
know?
network wasn't willing to give them,
Yeah.
so they figured the best way to do it was to be in charge and pay for it basically themselves, and they were very successful. And one of the things they wanted, and which is still with us today, is that they used to do TV shows live from New York, and they would record them on a thing called a kinescope or kinescope, and that's how they would replay them over on the West Coast later in the day because of the time difference. But the quality of a kinescope was so bad then, and they didn't have good broadcast quality, that they did not want to use that. So they wanted to use film, and they were only able to use film by paying for it themselves. And that's why today we have I Love Lucy reruns in pristine film quality. And of course they didn't realize that at the time, the longevity of it. But the fact of the matter is that quality they just wanted good quality to show their production, and but that film holds up over time, and that's what they got to do.
For last night when we binge watched, like
Yep.
maybe the
Yeah.
first season, but it
Yeah.
was lovely. Had a little fireplace
Yeah.
like going,
Hmm.
and that was lovely. I'm just captivated by the scene out the window. In case
Hmm.
you just it's like a nice little tree swing out there.
Hmm.
That's why I keep looking over in that direction.
Hmm.
Um, what did you think about the accommodations?
Accommodations were great. Much too big of a house for just the two of us. I kept thinking it would have been nice with a group of people, maybe even just bringing the kids and their families. That would have been nice too. But it was great, and I would definitely recommend it and come back here.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, it's a nice
definitely.
area and a lot of things to do,
Yeah,
and the house itself was fantastic.
yeah. Did serve my purpose
Hmm.
for it being more of a retreat versus a family vacation.
Yeah,
Because there it's nuanced.
sure.
Okay, right?
Hmm.
There's quite a difference. So let's see. And did you get to break open your guitar here out of
No,
the
I did
case?
not. I did not.
No.
I did not break open my guitar. I was busy
Dang,
writing, and
dang.
I was working
Yeah.
on my Father's Day message for
Uh,
Radiant Church.
which I am watching the time. We're
Yep,
getting
and
close there.
yeah,
So,
and which I'm
yeah.
about to deliver
Yeah.
this morning before we leave.
Okay. Well, did we cover everything? Oh,
I
I was
believe
out on
so.
a kayak yesterday on the
Yep.
lake, the same
Hmm.
lake that Lucille Ball swam in when she was a kid. That was
Hmm.
pretty cool. And
Babe Ruth hit a home run into,
yeah, that's true
or hit a
too.
ball into. It didn't say it was a
So
home run.
I'm sure there's more we could say, but I think we'll just like leave it here.
Hmm.
And yeah, best memory of the weekend
Memory of the
that you could
weekend.
share with our listeners.
Um, I think going through the Lucy and Desi Museum, I think that was a highlight of the trip. I like museums, so it's like
Yes.
that's the thing, just
Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
and that's the purpose of it. The whole celebrity thing is one thing, but the whole history of it
Yeah.
is the aspect that I like, and just
Where they
seeing
came
where they
from,
came from, but
what they
how,
overcame.
but also how their TV show impacted and um, changed the medium,
Mm,
and it was history. And I don't know if it said this in the I don't know if it said this in the thing, but at one point in time, department stores noticed a decline in business on a certain night of the week because it was in the 50s, and it was because everybody was home watching I Love Lucy, and yeah, and so
fascinating.
so history, yeah, that
Fascinating.
was nice.
All right. Well, then I shall bid you all adieu. Thanks for listening to us yap about our time. And look forward to some Swan Power retreats, which my intention would be to hold them seasonally. Now we're just finishing summer, so I'm working on maybe a fall thing in the Poconos. What do you think about that?
Sure.
Some leaf peeping. I think it's
Nice
pretty.
stuff in the Poconos.
Yeah, Pocono Mountains, Pennsylvania. So look forward to that. And I can now say that Swan Power is a production of Steady Life. So with the website to come, steadylife.art, A-R-T. Okay. And then what do I say when we sign out? It's been so long since I've done this. Oh, Swan Power to you.
Okay.
Hey friends, thanks for listening. Here's to discovering the power of spirituality, wellness, arts, and nature. You can find more content and sign up for my newsletter at chrissingleheart.com. That's CHRIS Singleheart.com. Until next time, Swan Power to ya!